Be here on this Thanksgiving week with you guys. We have so much to talk about. We know you do too. So make sure you comment on everything we're talking about tonight. We want to thank our sponsor, brokersrealty.com of Stroudsburg. They are the most awesomest real estate agency in the area. If you want to buy, sell, rent, or auction off a piece of property, make sure you check them out at brokersrealty.com/Stroudsburg, and they are out there on Facebook. One of their best realtors, Sarah Smith Katz over there, is available to help you if you are looking for something. It is a seller's market in the Poconos, and the inventory is way, way low. So if you're even thinking about moving here or getting a house, you got to do it right now.
Yes.
Right now. So happy Thanksgiving week, Sarah. How you doing?
Thank you, Holly. I'm doing well. Yes, it is a crazy real estate market. So, if anybody is interested in selling, it is definitely the time to do that, because I think we are at a historically low market amount of inventory. So, absolutely. Hi, Aaliyah. How are you?
Hi, Sarah. I like your jammies. It
Well,
reminds me of a story that I read to Leo, or that he liked when he was little. Llama Llama Red Pajama.
I
It's like
just
a
bought
series.
for my nephew.
Yeah, it's a great series. They have several. It's a great story. They have a Christmas one too. And that leads us to tonight's show. We are in our bedwear or pajama jamas. I can't really see what Holly has on. It's something
I have on my cuddle duds. These are without it. I don't have Christmas pajamas per se, but I got these pajamas for Christmas, and
very nice.
And they've got these.
Oh, I love that.
Got this, and you can wrap it all around you, and it's soft as soft can be. And there's leggings and tops and sweaters, and they're just fabulous. So I got my cuddle duds on.
Well, I have my Christmas buffalo plaid on. I always like a good buffalo plaid at the holiday season. So it's Turkey week. It is Fat Pants week. Whatever you're doing this Thanksgiving, we had a nice Thanksgiving show last week where we were in the kitchen and we talked about our favorite things that we like to eat, some traditional things. Sarah's scaring me with the pears and mayonnaise. I'm not doing it. So this week we're giving thanks no matter what's going on the outside, because it only matters what goes on in the inside. We're going to be thankful from within, whether we're with our family or not, Zooming, or if we're lucky enough to get together with our family, which we will be doing in a very small capacity, wink, wink, on Thursday with some of the kids and cousins, and it'll be kind of fun. So we're going to be talking tonight. Obviously, we're in our jammies or our lounge wear, I guess, if you will. So we're going to be talking about one of the ways, or some of the ways, that all of us get cozy for the season, talk about the reason for the season, kind of going into the last part of the year, sort of how we get it together, whether it be, do we go crazy with Black Friday shopping? Or do we decorate our house? Do we go a little crazy with that? And one of our very favorite things that we do at Christmas, and I think it's just everybody, unless you're totally a Grinch or Scrooge, watches or has a series of their favorite Christmas shows or movies, programs that come on at this time of the year that maybe you do. And we're not going to judge if you watch them any other time of year, because we love Christmas movies here and holiday movies. So if you watch them all year round, that's okay. I confess there are a few that I do watch throughout the year. We're going to talk about what our favorites are. Of course, we always have something to say. We want to know what you guys have to say about this subject. Let us know in the comments. Holly will be monitoring tonight, and she is checking out what you guys have to say. Let us know. What do you do to get ready for the holiday season? Is it Christmas jammies? Is it hot chocolate? Is it cuddling up on the couch? Is it a favorite book to read too? There's some wonderful Christmas themed. We have Charles Dickens, who is the father of Christmas storytelling. What is your favorite movie, Sarah? Share with me first. Give me your favorite Christmas movie.
My very favorite movie is White Christmas.
Oh, that's the best.
It's such an amazing classic that I think it takes us back to a time of elegance
where people gave a crap about each other. Did I just say that?
The absolute best song
Where
of
people
any
dress,
movie
where
ever.
people dress, where they dressed and they cared and they looked after each other and they had manners and elegance and eloquence and they spoke to each other and they honored. In that movie, we honored the troops in that movie from World
Yes,
War II.
which
So
I
we,
love.
that is very close to our heart in this family because we
That's
honor.
right.
We have very special World War II veterans that were graced our family throughout the years and we love. So that's for
Yeah,
and the music is just
absolutely.
gorgeous. The costumes are gorgeous. The winter scene, even though we know it's a studio, we know.
But
No.
it really is a
Right.
movie that just brings together all of the things that we celebrate about Christmas. The love of one another, the love of family, the love of friends, the love of country. So,
Respect.
I,
Yes,
I
respect.
that it's a movie that should be shared with young children,
Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
I love watching it. I
And
mean, I
especially
love
if you like a good old fashioned musical like
oh
dance,
yeah,
the dancing
The
scene
dancing scenes are amazing
are
because
amazing. It's
the
everything. It's
the,
everything.
the dance team in that group were professional dancers. So like the male dance star, like in the dance scenes, who shows up and does all the dances. He was very well known and famous.
He was West Side Story. He
and
was
he
in
was in
West
West
Side
Side Story.
Story.
Like the
And
dancing is just
was it
so
Vera? It's
fantastic.
Vera Allen, right?
Allen.
Yeah,
So
Vera
it's really-
Allen.
Mhm.
And of course the music. And I am a huge, huge Rosemary Clooney fan. I love
Yeah.
me some Rosemary Clooney. That
And I
voice.
love me some Danny
uh,
Kaye. I just
Yeah,
think
Dan
he was
Kay, Bing Crosby.
cutest,
so
sweetest
cute.
guy. Yeah.
So sweet. So sweet. So a movie that they reference White Christmas, and I'm not going to tell you what they say because it's kind of a naughty line, is Christmas Vacation. There is no other movie that shows family chaos and what it's really like with those rude neighbors. Todd, why is the floor wet, Todd? And with the lights and not being able to turn them on, and the drama of the teenagers. It reminds me of a couple of teenagers we've had in our family over the years with the eye rollings and all that kind of stuff. And I being a
Stuck
teenager
in the
myself.
attic. I love that part where he's
Oh,
stuck in the attic and he's
oh yeah.
wrapped up in like the fur hat.
He has the
watching,
thing. Yes,
old
I
movies.
know, I know. And there's some very famous actors and actresses in that movie. Diane Ladd is in that movie, and the mom, I think, from Everybody Loves Raymond, who is just hilarious, and it's just a really funny and sort of a doting dad. His dad loved him so
Mhm.
much, and just he wanted to make it such a nice Christmas. And again, he went through all this trouble, and it's all really based on love, really. His love of Christmas, the Christmas memory, looking back on the movies, like Sarah said, he's looking back on the black and white movies, which is so sweet. And he just wanted to give his parents a really nice Christmas. And then with
The
cousin
crazy
Eddie, and then you have the crazy cousins and
aunt
the crazy aunt.
wrapped up in a box.
I also
And the jello mold, leaky jello.
And the jello
no,
mold.
it's the cat chewing on the wires.
Oh yes.
They wrapped the cat. They brought the cat.
And then he cuts down the second tree, and there's a squirrel, and then like the dog, and everybody's running around. So that's a really good. I would say that's in my top. If I was going to pick top 5, White Christmas, Christmas Vacation. It's like a guilty pleasure. You have to do it. Christmas.
I know what Holly loves watching. The princess movies, the prince.
Oh, that's more modern.
The Hallmark, yeah.
That's more modern stuff. Like my classic movie, though, I absolutely love all the different iterations of A Christmas Carol. The whole concept of Christmas Carol, I just absolutely love it. Charles Dickens, I love his stories to begin with. Like I love Bleak House and the other movie,
Great Expectations.
Great Expectations.
That's a great story.
Like they're just some really
well. There's a movie about him actually, and about him writing A Christmas Carol, and it's really I forget what it's called. I just watched it not too long ago. It was an English movie. It was only like from 2 Christmases ago or 2 years ago, and it's about his publisher, excuse me, is like, why are you writing a movie about Christmas? Like, who's going to read that? People are starving in the streets at that time in England. It was Victorian England. People are hungry. They're not going to watch. But you know what? It's a story really of hope and generosity, and really that what we put out there, we get back. And that,
but none of his stories were ever really bright. Like, Little Dorrit, that book kind of centers around how people could go to jail for being poor. You know,
Right.
they have the poorhouse.
Oh, well,
And
Great
Great
Expectations. The kid was
Expectations.
a total,
Yeah,
was
so the Christmas Carol
yeah.
thing, I really love the Christmas Carol version where Patrick Stewart is in it, and I just think that his Ebenezer Scrooge, I just always kind of love Patrick.
And then there's
Stewart.
the flip side. There's the musical side, which is the Christmas Carol or Scrooged, and
Yeah.
it's where Albert Finney, who's one of the
Mhm.
best actors of all time, God rest his soul,
Alia loves
is-
Albert Finney,
and
just in
he
case
says-
anybody wants to know.
yeah,
Alia loves Albert.
just a beautiful, beautiful rendition of that, and it's a musical and it's fun. And when you watch the colored versions of these movies, the cinematography is really beautiful and how they do the costumes and stuff like that. I really like that. Holiday Inn is the flip side of White Christmas. I happen to like White Christmas a little bit better.
Jerry actually mentioned Holiday Inn on
yes.
on the
Oh, awesome. Yes. Let us know what your favorite movies are. And then of course we have the more modern ones that aren't really classics, but they're funny. Christmas with the Cranks, which is actually based on a book by James Patterson called Skipping Christmas. So it's actually, you can actually read the book and the characters. But the funny thing about that movie is not only is it funny, and it's again also about being neighborly and love, and the love of Christmas and the love of their daughter who goes away to join the Peace Corps. And they're just so sad. And, everybody thinks he's so selfish because he wants to take a vacation, and she kind of gets in on it, but then everything changes and the daughter decides she's going to come home. So they have to kind of, and there's just like really funny scenes. But the funny thing about that movie is because it's Jamie Lee Curtis, and they have masterfully, if you really, really watch the movie, in scenes where she's like scared or, they're coming for Frosty, this decoration that they put on the roof, they play the music from Halloween. Like you can hear, if you listen, there's a lot of scenes where it's supposed to be suspenseful that they'll play that track in the back, and it just adds to, here's this Christmas movie, and it's really just a family Christmas story, a neighborhood Christmas story. And then Dan Aykroyd is kind of like the nemesis, and then they have all these other things happening. But when you really listen to it, there's some really good lines in it. There's some great sarcasm in it, but you hear that music and it just adds that whoever decided to do that was a genius, because
I know that was a really good one. It's
really good one. And it's based on a book. So read the book. It's called Missing Christmas. And it's actually it's a great story. It's not just like a fluff Halloween movie. And I love the last line is like, one of the last lines of the movies with Santa, he's like, you have to work on Christmas Eve. And he's like, Santa always works on Christmas Eve. And it's true, right? Santa always works. We still believe in it, right? Santa always works on Christmas Eve. I believe in it.
Holly loves Miracle on 42nd Street.
Oh, you know what? I have not seen that movie in forever. I'm going to have to recheck that one.
Either. I always find that to be just a little bit sad somehow, but I don't know why.
I feel the same way of It's a Wonderful Life. I do not like that movie. I don't know why.
There's something about It's a Wonderful Life that kind of doesn't ring my bell. Like I get kind of depressed about it. I mean, White Christmas, I kind of have emotional moments, because when they do the scene at the end of White Christmas where the general comes out and they all stand up in their uniforms, and I could cry about it now. It reminds me so much of my grandfather. Like I could see him in that uniform, in that army uniform from World War II.
What they do for him and how touched he is by their gesture of everybody coming together to not only save the inn, but then also to honor him is just, it's a very touching story. Like a lot of these stories kind of go beyond
Christmas.
Like if you really want, they kind of go beyond. They all have the same theme, like Love Actually, which my mother does not like. If she's on here tonight, that's not her favorite. And it's really not a Christmas movie, but we've kind of turned it into it because it has Christmas music, and they do the kids in the play at school. They do All I Want for Christmas Is You, and it's kind of a cute little love story. But really, if you Love Actually, and it's true, it's what Hugh Grant? Hugh Grant says at the end of the movie is like, love is actually all around you, no matter what, no matter what's going on. So this is not the only time of the year to be in love. I, of course, fell in love with I actually met my husband, or fell in love with my husband. We got together on 12/12/12, which is coming up very soon. So, there is something in the reality of that. You can get swept away 8 years later. I'm kidding. 8 years, you know, you can get swept away during this time because it is, yes, I understand that it is sad for some. I understand that there is a lot of loss associated with Christmas, but at its core, really, honestly, it's not about, you know, we know that it's about Jesus and God and a lot of religious connotations, but it really is a time where, you know, it is about love, really, honestly, whether you love the cookies, the movies, the Christmas
Well,
tree.
and I think that that is something, that a lot of people only believe in Christmas as Christ's birthday, which is the religious part of it. But if you go beyond that and realize that it really is a global expression of love, it can take on a whole different connotation.
Right, exactly. And that's why I think we get swept up in these movies. You know, that's
Right.
why the Hallmark movie turns them out, baby. Like they
talk
know.
about it, but I want to talk
They know that we're into it because we get the warm and fuzzies. I don't care if it's about a lumberjack on a mountain or some girl that goes to a small town and leaves her great job to help the toy store, you know, and the gumball shop next door, and that guy, and then she's walking down the street and she sees the guy that she went to high school with. She went to the high school with, but he wasn't that cute then, but now he's really hot and he's single and she's single, and they try to save the town that's on a mountain that nobody can get to ever. But somehow they have to save it from financial ruin, and then they fall in love and all is good. I mean,
I have that one. Whatever that.
I want to jump topics real quick because I want to talk about a movie that I think it's not old, it's not new, but it's a movie that has actually affected how society looks at Christmas. Elf.
I love Elf.
I love Elf. There are things in Elf. There are lines from Elf that I actually say all the time. Like I find myself like, oh, you're such an angry little elf. I say that to people all the time when they're having a fit, but that it was a movie that had such a cast. Like
you sit on a throne of lies.
You know,
you sit on a throne of lies.
I mean, Bob Newhart was his dad, and James Caan was his.
I love James Caan.
Was his bio father, and Mary Steenburgen was so cute.
Yeah, you know? They're such a cute. What a cute movie. And the Santa was
Ed Asner.
Ed Asner, yeah.
Ed Asner was Santa. So it's like an amazing cast, but it was a great story because it took the story of somebody looking for their family and put it into Christmas. Like it's
like, really cute.
It's really cute.
Just cute and really good music. Really cute music. I love when he decorates the store. You know, being a visual merchandiser or a visual gal myself, decorations. I love when, you know, and she's like, "Who did this?" And he goes, "I did." You did this? And then the manager of the store comes in and he goes, "Santa's got a brand new bag, code word." And he goes, "I don't know who's gunning for my job or who did this, but it's on. It's like for real. Like this is for real." And then he sees Santa and he goes, "You're not Santa." And he goes, "Yes, I am." And he goes, "No, you're not." And he goes, "Yes, I am." And he goes, "You sit on a throne of lies." And it's like, it's so like, because you think about that cheesy mall Santa. I don't recommend Bad Santa. It is a very dirty movie. That is not, it's like, you know, one time I was like clicking through and Leo's like, "Mommy, what's that? It's about Santa." And I'm like, "Oh no, we're not going to watch that."
Okay, so
there are some dirty stuff.
We won't go Bad Santa, but we could go Bad Moms. Bad Moms Christmas.
Bad Moms Christmas.
Very funny movie.
But I heard
you should watch that, Sarah. You would really like it.
They go to a place where all the Santas are strippers.
It's a good one. And it's basically about how mom, I love when Christina Baranski in the movie, which Leo and I happen to be a huge fan of hers, and she's also in The Grinch, which we'll talk about in a minute in the live version. But she says to the daughter, you know, the daughter's like, "Oh, Mom, it's just like so much. You know, we buy all the presents and we decorate it, we make the cookie." And she goes, "That's a mom's job. Moms bring joy." And it's true, right? In most cases, we are very busy at this time of the year, especially if we have children or if we have family or people that we're taking care of. And moms bring the joy. And it's absolutely true that it does not matter how tired you are, that it does not matter, you know, if you have to go to the mall at 10 o'clock at night to get that one gift or be online. Now we're online shopping or, you know, maybe not as much this year as we have been in previous years because we're not doing the things at the school or
Mhm.
the PTA stuff or the concerts or the
But you're
fundraisers
trying
or
to
whatever.
replace the joy that you're
So
trying
now we have to get the Christmas pajamas.
Mhm.
Now we
Yes.
have to do those homemade photo shoots
Yeah.
because we're not, or
Yeah.
maybe we're trying to save, we're budgeting, and we have to come up with like, okay, I have the advent calendar, I have the gingerbread house, that
Right.
we're gonna put
Right.
because those are like
The little place
little
markers in the season.
right.
So what-
Especially when you have a little person.
Right.
So-
I don't have a little person anymore. So I was thinking, like on Black Friday, I actually go out. I go out shopping.
Yeah, let's talk about Black Friday. Hey Sarah, you doing some shopping?
You doing some
Well,
shopping?
it's so funny because when my daughters were little girls, that's when like Black Friday shopping actually started, where they would open up Walmart at midnight and have
Honey bun,
incredible sales.
when those girls were little, that's when Black Friday was actually fun
Oh yeah.
because the
So
malls
they-
existed
Well,
still.
yeah. And Walmart actually opened at midnight and had like incredible sales that you had to like scurry around to get. And that's what they remember about Black Friday. And to this day, Hannah is always like, we got to go black shopping. That's Black Friday.
See, I
shopping.
liked it in the
That's
sense
like-
where it wasn't about getting the deals or anything. And quite frankly, when I used to do Black Friday, I didn't buy a thing for nobody. It was about just the mall with the lights or
Mhm.
wherever you were. If you were in a downtown or whatever, you get a coffee or a hot cocoa, you get some lunch, you walk around, you browse, maybe buy an ornament for your tree or maybe pick up a couple gifts here and there. But like, make sure you have your stockings.
Mhm.
When Holly and I were little or were younger at our mall, which God rest its soul, what I mean? It used to be glorious. Would have, remember the kiosk,
it was
Holly?
They had a stocking
Stockings.
kiosk. Yeah.
And I mean, you could
Yeah.
buy stockings from this little up to
with your
humongous.
name on it.
Remember, they put your name on it, and if you wanted to be really fancy, they'd embroider. They had the embroidery machine, and they put your name on it.
Or they do
So
it with glitter.
or glitter. The glitter
yeah.
was good because
Well,
eventually that glitter
they
fell
did-
off.
Last year they did have the ornaments that you could put the name on.
I know. Yeah.
were
See,
really
we love
cute.
that kind of stuff.
That's very popular right
Yeah.
now.
I mean,
Um,
we grew
Girl,
up, thank
yeah,
the
any of
Lord
that
that we grew up in a generation that we know what a mall sidewalk sale is.
Yeah.
I mean, I just miss that fountain and the Christmas trees and the poinsettias. And although I have to say, I was in our local ShopRite and you can see into the mall, and they do have a beautiful tree set up at the entrance there with the kind of candy canes. And it made me
Well, I
sad.
to the Lehigh Valley Mall, and they were decorating pretty substantially for
Yeah.
Christmas. So I would imagine it's going to be pretty nice.
So let's
too.
talk about that. Who here has decorated their house for Christmas yet? Nope. Okay. And I want to hear from our audience member. Did you decorate? Are you decorating this week? Did you decorate prior? Because I feel like, especially this year, that it doesn't matter. There's no rules. I say bring it on, do it whenever, put your blow ups out. If you're able to, I say just let it go, let it rip. There's no rules this year.
My neighbors have
rules.
already done that.
What's
Well,
that?
I said to my husband,
So many blow ups on our street that I would not add another one to the collection.
Oh, but I mean, whatever
Friday
your
is
thing is, you know what I mean?
outside decorating for our house. Outside decorating is going to happen on Black Friday. I
Yeah.
generally don't get a tree until after my son's birthday because it's
Yeah.
December 2nd. So I like to have.
And you get a real
Thanksgiving.
tree.
Yeah, I get a real tree.
So you don't want to be
want
getting a tree if you can't get a real tree like after Halloween
And
and
you want it to
expect it to
live
be good,
until like mid-January.
Right. So that makes sense.
So
That
I
makes
split it up.
We have a tree here. The room I'm in is my office / classroom. So we have a tree that we're keeping up all year because it's something that me and my son can focus on. So we can do for different holidays, make the
Mhm.
decorations, and we're making. So we just put white lights on it, and then we'll keep it up. But our main house outside right now, my husband's out doing the exterior,
Well,
which
I gotta tell you,
exterior illumination. Wait until you see where anybody lives in Strasbourg. If you really, really want to know where
He's
I
Clark.
live and you want to look at,
He's
he is definitely
The
Clark.
epitome of Clark.
He is the jolly.
you can
This
see
year we're
Aaliyah's
really bringing
house
it.
from space.
Yep.
From
This
space.
year, because I'm going to tell you this.
Space.
Our mother kind of lives catty corner. So she can see like the side and the back. Then I have a friend who's a neighbor that lives below, so she can see only the back. And now we have the most glorious shout out to our neighbors next door, people that we could ever hope to ask for that live next to us. So we need to bring it for them. Okay, we can't just do exterior illumination around the windows. So this year, when you come up Chipperfield, and you'll know what I'm talking about, you're going to see the
I
extra
can't wait.
special treat that is happening. It was my vision, it was my le vision, and my husband is putting it to work. But I really honestly want to turn this house into, I am very much into the candy cane. I really want to make it kind of the candy cane cottage and
Beautiful.
really, you know, so people do stop. You know, he was out earlier and he came in for dinner and he's like, people are beeping already. This is awesome. And I'm like, you know, it's exciting. You know what? If you can do it, I know it's a pain in the ass pain if you don't have the ladders and all that, whatever you can do. My elderly Nana, when she lived here, when she was still living, she put even out to her last Christmas a couple things on the bushes and some lights, and she always had up her tree. We still have her tree, her artificial tree. We still use it. It's been relit. It's had the lights taken off and then restrung. My husband, thank God, is really good at that. So we've reduced and reused and recycled. So I want to know in the audience, did you decorate? Have you decorated? And are you a real tree person versus a fake tree? So we know what holly is. Sarah, do you do real or fake?
I do a real tree.
You do a real trees?
I don't
Yeah.
always do a big tree. I get various sizes sometimes. I just
Yeah.
get,
You know,
I always do the same thing. I have a house that's the size of a postage stamp, but I need to have a real tree, and it goes in the same corner in my living room every year. But I get it as tall as it will fit in the house, as long as it stays in that corner. So we have to go to the lot, and my husband,
you have to measure, right?
My husband stands next to the tree and extends his hand as far as it can go, and the top of the
Then
tree
it's
is
okay,
just
right?
about there. Then it works.
So I think the reason that I've always done an artificial tree, and it's been different heights at different places, because I've always, before living here 10 years ago, I was always in apartments. And I moved like 20 times in my adult life. So I would go and get the little, you know, when I lived in little places or shared a house with people, I had a little one like on my dresser, and it was easy packable. You could put all the decorations in one box and be done. And then as my money increased, or I got bigger apartments or my own apartment, then it would go like on a table. And then now we have Nana's tree. But now I have the tree in the office, the tree in the downstairs. I'm going to have one again when you come up the street. You'll see one up top. And then now with Leo, now he's at the age, he's like, I think I want my own tree in my window. So my goal is to have a tree in every room except for the bathroom, which maybe someday I'll figure that out, is to have it in different themes and different things. And that's been gradual, you know, because money, time, when you have a little kid, you don't want them yanking at stuff. You know, we have an elderly cat, you know, that likes to mess around and, you know, that kind of stuff. So you got to animals too, right?
and I'm not sure how Oscar will be with having a tree in the house.
It's his first year.
Oh yeah. Wow. Well, you'll see.
Yeah.
You might have to hang one from the ceiling. I want to know in the audience, does anybody have one of those? I mean, I think it's kind of cool. I like that kind of look. See, I don't know how we would do it, because where we have our living room, it's like there's only so many places. We have these huge picture windows, you know, there's only
that in your house, the Christmas tree, because when Pop was alive, we had a live Christmas tree, and it moved around the living room, believe it or not. At one point, it was between the two chairs under the stairs.
I remember that when I was little, yes.
In the very corner,
right,
of the window.
That's what Nana used to do, and now we kind of have it like in between, kind of like when you drive by. You can see it from both sides. Like I always like decorate with the intention that because my mom is there. So when she drives in and out of the driveway, I want her to be able to kind of enjoy. I like the exterior. We do, but I do a lot in the house. And that is something that really, like in my space, like in my kitchen, you know, I have like a theme of candy canes and pinks and turquoises and stuff like that, kind of very 50s and like retro. And that to me really brings my joy. Like it's something that I love to do. You know, I'm like an old school window display person. So I really like to do that. I know that you guys decorate inside. I mean, what are some of the things besides decorating and watching movies and listening to the music and obviously going shopping and buying for other people? And what are some of the other things that you like to do, Sarah? I know you like to be with your girls And I know that they're 25 and 21 or about to be 21.
Right.
So what
See?
kind of things do you like to do that are just for the holidays, things that you like to do for yourself or with the girls?
They do love to go shop and get together and go shopping. Chris Kindlemark down in Bethlehem is very cool. I think going to Bethlehem on the
Yeah, it's a
whole,
great, it's so
have some,
good.
Yeah, for
I
people who
heard
are
this
not,
year you have to make a
um,
reservation this year for Chris
yes, you
Kringle.
do. Yes, you have to do it online. And for people who aren't from
Ooh.
the northeast of Pennsylvania, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania is called the Christmas City. It is
it's
the most amazing place to go at Christmas time.
It is very
even during
nice.
COVID, they have a lot of there's a lot of drive-through opportunities anyway, like
Right.
all the time. So to go
Right.
around and see the lights
And also Lehigh Valley Zoo, I think they do a drive-through. And
lights on the parkway.
if you really want to go farther, you could go to Kozier's Christmas Village. You can look that up. I think it's KOZIARS. You just have to call ahead and see if they, in fact, what their hours are. Do they have restrictions? And there's only one way in, one way out. So make sure you
It's a
do
line.
some extra time. They do not close until everybody that's in line gets through, but still, you don't want to be coming home at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, which is what happened to us the first time. We went, Leo was really, really little. So he was asleep. Oh my gosh. And we thought, well, we'll go to Barnes and Noble in Easton. It was kind of like, that's one of our Christmas traditions. We've gone to Barnes and Noble in Easton to do Christmas shopping. We go out to eat. We go there. And ever since he was in the baby carrier, and then now he's older, so he can go shopping himself. And we thought one year we would go down to Kozier's Christmas Village because we thought that he would love the lights. He slept the entire time in the baby buggy. And by the time we got home and got out of there, which we didn't know that it was one way in and one way out. So this was like, 7 years ago? It was his first Christmas, I think it was, or his second Christmas. And it's beautiful though. What they do there is quite beautiful. But if you don't want to go that far, like Sarah said, Bethlehem, lights on the parkway.
I love going to Vespers too, when Hannah, Elizabeth, and Moravian, they would have the Moravian church there with the Vespers. It was stunning. And
we used to go to that with Holly.
Yeah.
When she went to Moravian. Yeah.
When I went to Moravian, one of my jobs was to help make all of the candles for Vespers.
Put the candles in the little cup and the little holders.
No, we would make the candles. We would make the beeswax candles in the molds in the old building down in Bethlehem.
That's cool.
It was our sorority and our brother fraternity, and we made thousands.
That's a wonderful Christmas memory, just to be in Bethlehem and be in those beautiful buildings. And so that's a great, one of my favorite Christmas things. Of course, I love music. Everybody that knows me well, knows that I'm a huge music person. And I used to get to sing all of that beautiful music. And I do really miss the choral aspects of that. It's really quite beautiful when you get a group of people to sing, especially, I love secular music. I do. I love the Mariah Carey songs and all the beautiful music that are on the Hallmark Channel. But my absolute favorite are, Go Tell It on the Mountain is my absolute favorite. I'm getting chills because that song just really, because I do believe, I am a believer, I'm a Christian. And when, that song just really gets into my heart, Go Tell It on the Mountain. Oh, come all ye faithful, Silent Night. That's kind of more of a secular stuff, but the religious aspects of it, the choral music of years and years and years, because I started doing that when I was 12 years old, and I did it up through college, and in a big way with orchestras and conductors, and especially at college, and singing Requiem and doing all of these big masses and singing in the churches for jobs. We used to sing in the Catholic churches on Sundays for music jobs. We'd make $10 a mass, or whatever, $5 or maybe nothing at all. But that was a job that we had as voice majors in Philadelphia in these huge Catholic cathedrals and beautiful churches. So I really love that. Gets in my soul, it gets in my heart, it like makes me get excited when I hear that music. And I miss that when you don't do that anymore, after you do it for years and years and years, and then you don't, you're like, I kind of really miss that, that I don't have that in my life.
I did that as well. I always sang in the church choir, sang with my mom, like my mom sing on the radio. When I was a little girl, she played the Hawaiian guitar and sang on the radio. So, music is a big part of our family. And, she and I used to have all the little kids in the church and do the Christmas program and
Oh
all.
yeah, I did the Christmas
So,
program at the Orthodox Church. I used to conduct it. Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
lucky enough in my lifetime to hear Aaliyah sing "Oh Holy Night," and without a doubt, amazing. But let's talk about
So I say play the music.
play the
Loud
music,
and proud.
play the music.
Stick to
Okay.
it.
But I want to tell you something let's go back to movies and let's talk about the modern concept of Netflix / Hallmark.
Oh, well, now we have Netflix
movies.
in our life. I mean,
I'll
now
tell
they
you
have made
something.
every
a confession.
cheesy theme of movie into a Christmas movie, and I love
have
it.
a confession. I thought I'd seen them all because, like Sarah said, I love the Prince ones, like where the
Oh, they're cute though. The
so cute.
baby,
They're
the
so
one where
cute.
they have the yeah.
But over the weekend, and I'm going to tell everybody, if you haven't seen it yet, you have to watch it. It is it's super over the top, and it's a little bit on the cheese factor. It's kind of high, but
Cheese is good.
it's so good that I enjoyed watching it so much. It's Dolly Parton's Christmas on the Square.
Oh,
and it's musical.
Is it on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. Debbie Allen is the choreographer. Is
it Christine Baranski in that one?
Christine Baranski.
I just saw that advertised today, and I'm like, I'm adding that to my list.
You have to add. Everybody has to add it.
I'm a huge Christina Baranski fan. I think she's so talented.
She's the bad guy. She's the bad guy.
What a talented lady. If you don't know who I'm talking about, look her up, Christina Baranski. She's in a lot of things. She was in The Good Wife,
Mamma
The Birdcage.
Yeah.
She was in the show Sybil. She was in the show Sybil with Sybil Shepherd. She played the best friend. She is one of the best character. She's in all the Mamma Mia movies. She's in Bad Moms. She's in Bad Moms and Bad Moms Christmas.
She plays the Scrooge character.
A fantastic actress. She plays Martha Mayhew in the Grinch, and she's the neighbor and the one that he's in love with, and there's like a whole story there, and her character is off the charts. She has a fantastic voice. She's a fantastic dancer. She's just a great performer. But I can't wait. I just saw that advertised today. I can't wait.
So incredibly old-fashioned and adorable, but it's modern. You can tell they just did it.
Right.
But it's got really cute music. It's got a great backstory. She actually plays the bad guy who comes together at the end,
Yeah.
And Dolly Parton plays an angel.
I love her.
Just so beautiful.
You can't go wrong with Dolly Parton and Christmas. You can't go wrong. You know what? There's another cute one on Netflix called Dash and Lily, and it's like for the younger set, maybe, kind of reminded me a lot of things that happen when you're like 20 and you're in the city. Like I spent a lot of time in the city when I was younger, and a lot of the places that they talk about, and it's really, really cute because you think that young people, even though they are using their device and things like that, but they talk about books, they talk about classics, it's a lot about relationships with your family. And so you would think that a story about young people would be all very maybe not so moving or touching, but there's a lot of parts about it that are like it kind of reminded me like when I was 20 and like how I feel now versus and how you feel when you're 20, kind of like following the rules or with your parents or having to do things as opposed to how I am now at 45. But the music is really good. Of course, it's New York, and New York to me used to be, sadly, I don't know about now, is one of the most unbelievable Christmas backdrops that there are in the world, in my opinion. So it really is a beautiful one. The other one that I liked, it's not on Netflix, but it's called The Family Stone. And that's really good. It's Sarah Jessica Parker, the boy, one of the Wilson boys, Craig T. Nelson, who I love him and everything, Diane Keaton, who I love. And you think it's about this family and this person that comes into it, and about an engagement ring, which is at the family stone. Their last name is Stone, and how they treat her, and kind of, there's kind of a little bit of a sad story with undertones, but it's, again, sibling rivalry, the baby of the family, the oldest kid, the parents, and the dynamic there. And then there's some things that in between. Again, great music, great Christmas, New England Christmas postcard house and those things. So that's a really nice one. And I always just really like, and again, about family, right? It's about the inner workings of family, and it doesn't like kind of sitting around the dinner table. and the dynamic of the siblings, kind of, when we can relate to it because we come from a big family of siblings.
I love this movie called Holiday, which is a new one, I think, this year.
Yes, it's so good.
That
Good,
was cute.
right?
That was
I
cute.
watched it twice. It's so good.
It
It has some dirty words in it, a little dirty, a little bit, but that's okay. Not family. I would not watch it with my young
It's not
children.
for little
No,
kids.
It's not for the little
No,
kids.
it's not for
No.
little kids, but it's definitely fun. And there are a lot of movies like that out there. There are all
Yeah.
kinds of genres.
And you know what? We watched
covering Christmas.
a
here.
really cool series on Netflix too that is not a movie. It's called Holiday Home Makeover with
Oh,
Mr.
yeah.
Christmas. And it's like only 3 episodes or 4 episodes. He has really cute, he like receives a letter and from a family, and they want to either go back to their old-fashioned kind of Christmas, or they want to incorporate Hanukkah and Christmas into their household decor, or and then there's one that it's like a fire hall Christmas where the fire chief had died and they wanted to recreate, all this Christmas joy. But the cool thing about it is, and what we try to do here in the house, it's a lot of DIY. So it's not like and we love the big box stores, we love the fancy stuff, but it's also
Hobby
about
Lobby. Don't make
it's
fun of Hobby
about
Lobby.
using things kind of make your own stuff. And I really kind of like the DIY, but it's like really beautiful. Like, and he works with the home and the family, and
your mom and her DIY is just incredible. So, I think that
we had a big discussion today,
that.
my mom and I, and she asked me if I remembered a large quilted turkey that she made for the door when
I do remember that.
And she goes, she doesn't know where it is. So I think we have to hunt for the big quilted turkey. It'll be like a scavenger hunt in the shed.
Well, here's something that I think we should ask our audience. Holiday is based on a family that pressures their single daughter to bring home a date for the holidays, and so she feels the necessity to go out and find a date. How many people have actually been pressured by their family to bring home a date when they were single? Because I
didn't get married. I was the last person to get married in this family or have children or buy a house or settle down. I moved around a lot, lived, God knows, did all this stuff. Never once did my mother, father, stepfather, sisters, anybody ever make me feel like there was something wrong with me or I was inferior. And I never not had a good time.
Right.
Yeah.
I always loved the holiday, no matter where I was financially. And there were some years where it was like scary, whatever. It was grapes of wrath, buying the stuff at the what do you call it? Five Below, Five and Dime, went back when there was Five and Dimes, scraping it together, not really having a lot of stuff, or and I still had a good time because we have those things. You could walk downtown with just $1 cup of coffee and see the tree, listen to the music, go to the bar and hope for, they had free food, free appetizers. Well, what we used to do on Friday nights, holiday or not, talk about holiday. You'd be hoping to get one. So you'd go to the bar, shout out to Floods, because it's specifically it. You live downtown, you're broke ass, you're broke, you go there and they have appetizers, right? So that's dinner. You have enough to buy a drink and give a good tip, because you always have to tip, right? And then you hope to kind of be like, how you doing? And then that person buys you a drink. So now you've had like 2 cocktails and a food. You're set. You're done. You're like, that's it. That's like, the music is good. The vibe is good. You're fed, and then, right. And then if you add the holiday aspects of that, then you're kind of like, and that's how simple it should be. That we don't need all the big stuff and we don't need all that. And now we're in a situation where we kind of have to enjoy the holiday movies, make some popcorn, string up those,
I might actually bake a cookie.
Right. I don't care if it comes out of a tube. I don't care if it comes out of a tube.
They usually are break apart, or you can scoop the dough for here, but I'm going to actually try to bake.
You're going to actually try to bake some cookies. Right. Yeah. So whatever it is, I think we have to kind of not DIY. I think we have to DIY it in the sense that we're not going to be so entertained maybe by those outside forces anymore, that we kind of have to figure out kind of what we can do. And a lot of the stuff is not expensive. It's not.
I'll
It's
tell you
not.
something that gets me into the Christmas spirit and gets me really happy. And I try to do it like right after. I usually do it right after my son's birthday, so I can see it the weekend of his birthday party, like the 5th, 6th. I get all of my stuff together to write handwritten Christmas cards.
Yeah, I
Nice.
do.
I get my envelopes and my cards. I buy my cards the day after Christmas the year before, so I have them all. Like I have them. So I get my
It's a
cards,
ritual. Yeah,
my stamp.
exactly.
I have my husband. My husband has these beautiful antique fountain pens. He fills one up with either red or green or navy blue ink. And I sit down and put the music on and make myself a beverage or put the TV on and turn the whole house into Christmas and do my cards. And I just love that. That's my
Yeah, I
thing.
mean,
That
there's
gets
a
me
lot. The
going.
most of the things that we love to do don't really involve going out and shopping, or I mean, listen, I was a mall. I like the mall because I like, not necessarily because I'm going from store to store buying up everything. It was the atmosphere, and then you would run into people that you would know, and then the music will be playing, and maybe there'd be some cheesy band or some cheesy group, singing songs. Maybe they'd have some sidewalk,
But
So
yeah,
it's the
things like that
ambiance. It's the
this year.
feeling and the ambiance, and now we've lost that. It's
A
it
lot of
is
the
a
community things we have even lost. I mean, we had a lot of community things still kind of going up until last year, but this year you're going to lose some of that stuff.
yeah. We have
And
the Christmas tree light. They always have the Christmas tree lighting on Black Friday
Well,
in the square.
we did
Beautiful
the
tree.
giving,
Always do a great job.
which was incredible. We had the Giving Festival, but
Oh yeah, that
there's
was so great
no
last year.
way of doing anything like that
Right.
because how do you plan 6 months in advance
well,
for
yeah,
an
I mean,
event? You can't.
think
The
about
schools are
the
losing their
schools.
fundraisings, and
I
yeah.
was going to say I'm part of the music boosters for my school, and every Christmas season we do something called Music and Craft Fest, and we raise money for the music programs in our school.
And that's been going
K
on
through 12.
since you and I were in school. That
Almost
was going
50
on for
years.
40 years, 50
It was,
years. Yeah.
I think it would have been our 46th year. It had to be canceled this year, and that fundraiser makes
Perfect.
$11,000 for the year for things like scholarships and stuff, and we simply don't have it. Like it's
The
just
other thing,
Something
we talked
online.
about raising money. The other thing about this time of year, and we're going to talk about this in December, is, another way to, I don't want to say manufacture, but another way to bring the joy is to give to others.
Mhm.
Now, I'm the kind of person that likes to buy presents. I like to buy the perfect present for people, but not necessarily, I do like to get stuff, but I really like to buy it and wrap it and all that kind of stuff. But the other way to do something is maybe to donate your turkey. Like if you have an extra turkey
Well,
from your points, donate to your local food bank, maybe
is there
volunteer.
out there that needs a turkey for Thanksgiving that you don't have a turkey or you don't have the money for a turkey? Please let us know.
If you need anything, really, honestly,
Yeah,
if you need
please.
anything, turkey,
Yeah.
we'll be happy to make sure that you have turkey and the fixins, because we all know that
It's
the
important.
turkey's important, but the sides and pie are what make a Thanksgiving. So
please feel free to reach
contact
out
us.
to us.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Or if you know of a family that needs, because
Yep.
God knows we have enough people in our family
With free turkeys.
with free turkeys, because I'm sorry, but there's only so much freezer space.
Yep.
And there's only so much. It's
I
not
mean,
even it's not the space, it's the wherewithal. Like,
Yeah, turkeys take. Okay, they're these frozen solid masses, and then you got to
speaking of
get
which, we talked about this last week. If you haven't yet, take that darn turkey out of the freezer, because if you don't, on Thursday you're gonna be like, what? And then you're gonna be very upset.
Yeah.
You thought if you put fill your sink with water and put it in there, it does draw the freeze out of it.
But the thing is, most people can't give up their sink.
True.
Yeah.
Well,
because
you
have
can
to
also do it. You can do the same concept though in a small cooler.
Yep.
So you just have to sanitize it once you're
or
done.
a big bowl. Or
Speaking of food, I want to know, what is your favorite Christmas thing? Are you a Christmas, like, do you look forward to the Christmas cookies?
I look.
Are you like
cookies? That's what
hot? What did people drink? Hot was mulled
Eggnog.
wines, eggnog.
I make coquito. Yeah. I make that.
What's coquito? Tell me what that is. I don't know what that is.
So it is rum, 2 different kinds of rum.
Okay.
creams and things like that you mix together with spices, and it's a nice heavy
It's like
drink.
it's a culturally different version of eggnog.
Yes,
right?
it
That's
is.
cool.
Like it's
Holly used to make eggnog every year religiously, but
Mhm.
then like we had the kids growing up, and then like everybody started going on not restrictive diets, but just a lot of us went off the sauce
Well,
of
we
not
went through
drinking the
years
liquor,
when our little kids
and
were really little and nobody drank except the men.
well,
Like,
because we had to take care of the baby. Somebody had to take
Mhm.
care of all the babies, and
Yeah.
at one time it was like an
But I
assembly
look
line
forward to the
of kids.
cookies for sure.
So we have Christmas drinks, we have the cookies, because you don't have to wait till Christmas Day. You could make quite a nice evening for yourself. You get your Christmas jammies on, you put a Hallmark movie on, you get your coquitos,
You
you
make
get
a
some
popcorn,
Christmas
a big
cookies and
bowl of
popcorn.
popcorn.
I love to string popcorn. When I was little, we were growing up, and sometimes, things were rough. We would get a nice tree out of the garden department at the grocery store. The one that would like it wasn't like a child. It was nice, but and we had some balls, of course, because we broke all the good stuff.
We did paper
And
chains. We
paper
did popcorn.
chains, and then mom would dry the orange slices, and we would hang those with a ribbon. We do sachets, and we would do popcorn and cranberries. We would make a star out of aluminum foil and cardboard. So you can really, there's no excuse, really,
Mhm.
honestly,
Well,
because
here's
you could
the thing
really
that-
use your clean out your cabinet and make some
thing, like as poor as you may have felt,
Yes.
those
Oh, I
were-
never felt poor.
are-
I never
We
felt
never
poor.
did.
Never
We
felt
never did. I mean,
No.
Never.
when my mom was a single mom of 4 girls with no job,
you
No.
always made
we
fun.
never felt like we didn't.
No, and she would be so cute. It would always be like, we probably won't have that big of a Christmas. And you come downstairs, and then it would be like, where did all this come from? Oh my gosh, she said that we were, whatever, and we didn't care. We had a good time, but all those little things that she used to do, and I do that now. I still do the stringing of the popcorn with the.
It's so special.
It's so special. And so you could really have yourself, put on your best jammies, make yourself a coquito or a hot tea or cider or whatever it is. I don't drink alcohol, so whatever.
Hot chocolate
A nice
with
Shirley
marshmallows.
Temple. Right. Have some hot cocoa, put on an old classic. Most of us have the Sling, the TV, the Netflix, whatever it is.
Mhm.
You can find it. You already paid for it. You can, have your mug, whatever it is,
Yeah, and take the time
really
to
have
do
a good
it.
time. Yeah, do it.
Set some time aside
yeah.
to do it.
Say, okay, make a list. Now is the time to sit down with your family the week of Thanksgiving and not only talk about what you're thankful for, but say, what are our intentions for Christmas? Because we can't do X, Y, Z, and we're going to be staying closer to home. What do we want to have done? So one of the things that we do, and I did this, I've been doing this my whole life, in some form or another, whether it be if I didn't have a car, I walked and looked. If I had a car, I could drive around, is to drive around and look at the Christmas lights.
Mhm.
So we make hot cocoa, have cookies, whatever in the car. We have a blanket for my son. We drive around, we look at the lights. There's some really people that bring it in our area. Check out your local area.
Belvin Family Christmas.
Yes,
I want to just
so
put
great.
that out there. Belvin Family Christmas. They do an
And
amazing
donate.
light display.
Yeah,
they
and
do
they
an
donate.
amazing light display.
Drive by my house. Drive by my house.
You tune it to the radio,
Yeah.
and there's music that accompanies
Right.
it, and you make a donation, and they collect all that donation for the entire season and give it to one charity in the Poconos.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. So like those things are low cost. Watching your favorite movie, baking some cookies. You can get some already made cookie dough, whatever it is that you do, straight up homemade, whatever, no judgment. Make those lists, sit down and have a family meeting. That's what we do. We have a family meeting right around this week or at the end of the week, and we say, okay, maybe there's something new that we heard about, or there's something that we want to do. Of course, Christmas Chronicles, talking about movies. One of the best modern Santa's ever, one of the best Santa depictions ever. I mean, I love Tim Allen for Santa Claus, but Santa, Kurt Russell as Santa is so amazing. Of course, Goldie Hawn, who is his girlfriend in real life or his partner in real life, plays Mrs. Claus. It is such a great story. And Christmas Chronicles 2 comes out tomorrow. So we're going to check that out as a family on Thanksgiving because we'll have kids. We can watch that. So, that's a new classic that I really, really enjoy. Visually, it is unbelievably visually beautiful. And, these are all things that we can do now. We can do it. And you know what? Maybe we didn't have a chance to do all that stuff before. We're getting a chance to kind of say, okay, we're going to go look at lights. We're going to bake cookies one night. We're going to decorate the tree. We're going to, and make some DIY decorations. I think that that's the best.
I was
Don't
going
you
to say,
think?
let's do a speed round, but we seem to have lost Sarah.
Uh-oh.
So maybe
Uh-oh.
we can ask our I'll ask you and we can ask our audience to answer either now or in the future if you watch the replay. So, gingerbread cookies or sugar cookies?
So hard. Sugar cookies. I like both.
Eggnog or spice cider?
Neither. I have to say neither. I don't know why. Like I'd rather have a chai. Like if I was gonna do like a hot drink, I'm not really a hot
chai.
chocolate
Okay.
person.
So
I like a hot
spice
chai, I think.
Okay.
I like something with like I love cinnamon and like vanilla. So
So a
anything that's kind of
snickerdoodle,
like
you need a snickerdoodle.
snickerdoodle. I was just telling Leo about snickerdoodles. He's like, "What's a snickerdoodle?" And I'm like, "Ooh, we'll have to do that."
Handwritten Christmas cards or photo cards?
Handwritten.
Me too.
Yeah, definitely.
Real tree, artificial.
You know what? I love what I love because we grew up with real trees. We never had a fake tree until I think it was a couple years ago because my parents had to get it specifically for a specific spot. So they got a real skinny, because we basically, if we had a tree in the middle of our living room, the 20 of us, we couldn't have Christmas.
It would be
So
like
they had to
National
move it.
Lampoon's Vacation
They had
where
to
we don't
kind of
have to
move
get
it under the
tree.
eaves of the stairs, right? It's under the stairs, so it has to be a specific height, shape. Like I said, I love the idea of a real tree. I like looking at them, smelling them, going to visit them, all that kind of stuff. For me, I do artificial. Number one, I have a cat who's elderly. I have a child, but also I can keep it up for as long as I want. If I wanted to decorate it for Valentine's Day, I could if I wanted to. I don't, but I could. And then it's easily packed away. And I think it comes from the fact that I lived in apartments my entire adult life. And then when I moved here, I kind of like graduated from like the tabletop and then kept Nana's. And I kind of just, I'll keep that tradition going because she had it. And,
it goes with her 1950s-ish house.
Yeah, like my house is kind of mid-century and it's a little like, so for me, it works. I love what you do with your tree. I think you always pick a beautiful tree and it works for your space.
Well, we're in a cottage. I mean, I live in a cottage, so it kind of it makes sense. Okay, traditional holiday music or modern Christmas music?
I'm split down the middle. Like I said before, I love the traditional. I love religious based or Christian based anything music. I mean, and there's a band called For King and Country. They're a Christian band out of I think Scotland, and they did it last year. It was their version of Little Drummer Boy. Check it out. It is. I literally get like the chills. So for that, they took a traditional Christmas song, which if you look at the story of Drummer Boy, the story makes my arm hairs come up. So look that up, what that really is all about. I like that. It depends, of course, Mariah Carey. When that song comes on, all people, I mean, I don't care who you are, you sing that song. But then, like I said, Oh Come All You Faithful, Joy to the World, Go Tell It on the Mountain is my absolute, like, I cannot get through Christmas without listening to that. I just love it, love it, love it. So, but I like a mix of both. And I think it's important, rocking around the Christmas tree, the ones from like when mom was growing up, like those are great. And then the ones I really like when we were growing up in the 80s, when some of our favorite singers decided to remember the Keith Haring series of, and they were raising money for,
and Run DMC with Aerosmith.
Run DMC. So when you hear those two, so there's like sets. It's like the traditional ones. Then there's like the ones that we grew up on, like with Sting and all those things. And then there's the ones now or like from the 80s and 90s and more. And I think that they really, and Mom is calling. Oh, now she's not calling anymore. She probably realized. Hi, Mom. I like a mixture of both. I mean, I really liked it when you were in the store in the mall and the music came on. I mean, they're just gives you that feeling.
That was going to be my last one. Are you going to go Black Friday shopping or are you sticking to online?
I'm probably going to be working because I have businesses to which I will probably be most likely
you'll be selling,
helping others. I'm going to be helping. We don't call it selling. I'm going to be helping others. Pick out stuff for their family, and I probably will get in some, And don't forget Cyber Monday either. I mean, Black Friday. Thank God for Cyber Monday, and of course all weekend. And I think
So
Don't
the
wait
big
till
ones
Friday.
are coming up. So it's Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, think
Small
you're
Business
downtown,
Saturday. Right.
Cyber Monday, Giving Tuesday. Pick a charity and do something good.
No Kid Hungry is my charity of choice, as always. And remember, while all this is going on, there's kids that are not eating, there's families not having turkeys, they're having to go to food banks. So if you can, help out your neighbor, check on your neighbor, check on the kids, especially if they're not going to school to get that meal. Take them a box, take them some treats. When you're at the grocery store this week, grab a couple extra boxes or cans of things, and you just never know. You might really give somebody a great gift.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
go.
I think that's a good place to leave it.
Yeah.
We've used up all of our time.
It's all about the love, baby.
It's
Love
all
of
about the
Christmas, love of
It's all about the love.
tradition,
So,
love of
next
I have
week-
one for you. I know
What?
the answer to this. I
What?
know do you like candy cane? I know you don't. Candy canes. But you know what it is? I don't like them either, but I love the look of them.
Oh, I think
they're so pretty.
I
think
love
they're
the
so
color,
pretty.
and I love
Yeah.
the story behind it. Like
I love it. Yes.
The candy cane story.
Yeah.
It is not for me.
It is not for me to taste, but I like to use them today. And that's another thing. It's a really inexpensive, I don't like to use the word cheap, inexpensive way to decorate your tree is to hang candy canes. Remember when we were little, we always had candy canes.
We always had candy canes. It's really funny. I always get candy canes.
Tinsel or garland, tinsel or garland. Let me know. Tinsel or garland.
Oh, tinsel or garland. I don't have either anymore.
You know what? I love the idea of tinsel. I really do. I think that look is really freaking cool. But with kids and cats,
I will never forget being a young person living.
Throwing
we
it.
Always had cats. We always had cats growing up.
But there's something about
throwing
throwing
tinsel out of a cat's butt makes it look a whole different to you.
Oh Lord! Well, I think that's a good place to stop. It's a good place to stop.
No tinsel, but I did love the way it looked, especially like if you look back. It's funny that because things changed so much back in the 50s. It was really popular to take your picture in front of your Christmas tree, all dressed up to go out to dinner, and
so it's just a bunch of droopy.
It would all be tinsel.
And tinsel. Shout out to those people. Hey, you know what? They knew how to bring it. You know what I mean?
A party.
They had a party.
You're gonna party. So,
well, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Happy Turkey Week. We are thankful for you, Holly. I'm thankful for you. I'll see you on Thursday. But for the rest of you.
We have a great show coming up next week, and we want to tell you all about it. It's called Our Favorite Things. We are going to have on Get Seen in the Poconos, our favorite place, and on Get Seen, and on Something to Say, we're going to have our favorite things. It is not the same as last year. We're not at the Sherman Theater with our live audience, but we are going to try to make it just as festive.
Oh, we have some great guests.
Everybody who's joining us is giving away something. So people are going to win. So you got to tune in and you got to comment and you got to be present to get a present.
Yay.
Okay. Sarah had to leave us because her phone croaked. That's what she just texted me. So her phone died. So that's why she's not here anymore. We want to wish her a happy Thanksgiving. We will see her very shortly as well on Thanksgiving Day. We hope you have a great time with your family. We want to thank our sponsor, brokersrealty.com of Stroudsburg. They bring us to you every week and make it fun. Like I said, next week, make sure you tune in 7:00 right here. Make sure you're ready to comment, have your beverage, stay with us for the hour because we are going to have giveaways all through the hour.
Nice.
Okay.
Fun.
Okay.
I can't wait.
I know it's going to be so much fun. We're going to have a great time. Everybody have a safe, happy, and wonderful Thanksgiving, and we will see you next week.